And as we come on here tonight, outrage from the White House. This after the U.S. Supreme Court dealt a blow to the president's economic agenda, striking down his broad use of tariffs.
And we brought you the president's response live this afternoon as he slammed the ruling and announced plans for new tariffs.
Today I will sign an order to impose a 10% global tariff under Section 122, over and above our normal tariffs already being charged.
6-3 ruling, justices wrote that the International Emergency Economic Powers Act does not authorize the president to impose tariffs. Last year, President Trump justified the tariffs by claiming that trade deficits and the flow of illegal drugs into the U.S. constituted national emergencies.
Yeah, the impact of global tariffs has caused some local business owners now to adjust over the last year. 10 Tampa Bay News reporter Miguel Octavio live for us in South Tampa following reaction from this.
Yeah, and Miguel, some local business owners, they've told you that they have had to make big adjustments in order to save money here.
Yeah, Courtney, Soho here is filled with a lot of businesses, and just hours ago I spoke with one owner who relies on products from around the world to keep his shop running. Tonight he is hoping for some relief after the Supreme Court ruling. The smell of fresh coffee fill the air inside Blind Tiger Coffee Roasters.
I was very worried.
But behind every cup has been a higher cost for Roberto Torres.
Oh yeah, it was very tough. Trying to navigate supply and demand and logistics.
The head of the company says tariffs have forced him to buy beans from other countries. With the Supreme Court striking down President Donald Trump's tariffs, he believes the business owners are owed a refund.
Oh, 100%. I mean, we ended up paying almost excess of like $75,000 last year in tariffs that they shouldn't have been there.
The justice's decision centers on tariffs imposed under an emergency powers law. Trump argues they're necessary to address trade deficits. Tampa economics professor Abby Hall.
Economists very rarely agree on policies, but pretty much all economists are in agreement that tariffs are detrimental to the economy.
Hall says the tariffs simply reduce spending power and increase the cost of goods and services for consumers.
These taxes weren't just impacting foreign businesses abroad, but they were impacting people who live here. 3
dissenting justices sided with the president, arguing the tariffs are lawful. Republicans like Representative Randy Fine is calling on Congress to uphold the president's powers.
Because what President Trump has done is he has brought in an extraordinary amount of money to the country in the form of these tariffs, which really are just sales taxes on foreign goods. He's reduced the trade deficit.
Now, aside from the 3 dissenting justices, a number of Republican lawmakers have been defending President Trump's tariffs, including Senator Rick Scott, who says this helps level the playing field. What happens next with the at least $133 billion collected from these tariffs could be up to Congress, but it is still unclear. Live in Tampa, Miguel Octavio, 10 Tampa Bay News.
Miguel, thank you. And let's talk about those refunds. Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh says yes, the U.S. may be required to pay tariffs back to importers, and some of those costs may have already been passed along to you, the customer. And to quote Justice Kavanaugh, he says any refund process is likely to be a mess.